So here. So
Oh,
there you go.
goodness. All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself and your products here.
Cool. So we're Heatcraft America. We're new to America just this year. We've been operating in UK for over 40 years though. So we've gotten into this goop lately. Really trendy stuff. Literally, as you can feel, just goop. Really goopy goop.
I love the way it moves, like how it's kind of like moving over my hand here.
Literally water.
I only have.
No,
so
it does get fall on the carpet.
It does fall apart a little bit.
Nothing stuck on the carpet right now.
That's nice, and it's not, as you can feel it doesn't like stick to your hands.
Yeah.
It's got a very...
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's comes easy, nice easy stuff. So we got 13 different kinds, glittery, glow in the dark, translucent, all that stuff. And they all have wristbands on them. So the package comes with a wristband. Nice. And kids start to collect these wristbands.
So how did you guys come up with the idea or decide to get into goop?
Into goop. So you will see it all over YouTube. It is so trendy right now. We saw a girl the other day with 850,000 followers.
What is your personal favorite goop?
My personal favorite goop is the glow in the dark stuff.
Glow in the dark stuff?
Yeah. You get the two goos, which is the two colors. They all have cool names, cool faces on the containers. And then the translucent stuff, so just like literally easy, see-through stuff.
My name is Matt Schmidbauer from Squishy Circuits in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Anne-Marie Thomas, also from Minnesota.
Well, we're here with Non-Productive, and we're covering like interesting tactile experiences here at Toy Fair. And this looks extremely tactile.
That was the whole goal. It was a really tactile, squishy, playful circuitry.
Exactly. Everybody's familiar with modeling clay. It's something we've grown up using, and there's really nothing more hands-on than using it. And we're taking it to the next level now. And so anything you want to make, such as a duck or a snail, we can make it light up, or we have different things where we have motors, for example, and we can plug the motor in, and we have motion. And so if we wanted to make a modeling clay helicopter, we could make it take off, so to speak.
That's really interesting. Now, it's just the clay itself is what is carrying the current through?
Exactly. So instead of wires, we're using the modeling clay, and that's because it has salt and water, and when it has salt and water, it is able to conduct electricity. Then we have this white dough, which is a little different. It's kind of like a silly putty, and that doesn't conduct the electricity.
So I was going to say, so when you push those two together,
the electricity is lazy. It wants to run, take the path of least resistance, and go through the Play-Doh.
So, but in the situation of the snail here, you've got the modeling clay in the center, this insulator.
The insulating clay.
And that allows it to function like that. That's really cool. How did you guys come up with this idea?
You know, about 9 or 10 years ago, I had daughters. I'm an engineering professor in Minnesota, and I had daughters, and I wanted them to start doing circuitry young. And so I'd seen sewn circuits and other things that weren't right for little kids' hands. So we invented this with a bunch of, at the time, undergraduate research students, and really used it as a teaching tool. And put everything online. There was a TED Talk. People were using it around the world, and we realized that they didn't just want the recipes. It'd be great if they could actually buy the kits. So Matt, as a student at the time, said, you know, I could do this.
I could do this. And so, yeah, I asked Anne-Marie's permission, and I started the Squishy Circuits store, which sells the kits for Squishy Circuits. And so we've sold the last 7 years to 29 different countries and tens of thousands of kits, primarily to the education market. And we're at Toy Fair today, trying to expand into the retail markets.
What do you think is the coolest thing you've seen built with Squishy Circuits?
Honestly, the coolest thing I've seen, it was a Play-Doh that just was a rope. It was a snake, and it covered the table up and down. It went on the ground, it went back up, and if you would actually stretch it out, it would probably have been 30 or 40 feet long. And we put lights on it the entire length, and it just lit the entire table up. And as you went further from the battery holder, they would get a little bit dimmer. But it was probably the neatest thing I've actually seen. It wasn't that hard to make, but it was very time-consuming. It was time-consuming. It wasn't that structurally complex.
It's very cool. And you need a lot of these little LEDs.
A lot of lights, yeah. They tend to be the highlight. How many can you get in there? And then if we're doing it in a classroom setting, we turn the lights off at the end. You know, you get 10 minutes to make whatever you want, turn your lights off, and then we get to see everybody's creations light up.
They kind of remind me, kind kind of like packing peanuts.
And that's actually how they started. The company in Germany also makes the biodegradable packaging peanuts.
Nice. Right, and then you have, so like kids and people can like put these together using water and maybe like toothpicks and things like that to kind of add some texture or some strength to it.
So you really don't even need the toothpicks. It's actually really sturdy. And because it's so light, you don't have to worry about it. If something does break, you just make it wet again, stick it back together.
Oh, nice.
We've had some of these models for 2 years, and they hold pretty well.
It is really sturdy. How did it come up with the idea? How did you guys move from making disposable packing peanuts to children's toys? That sounds like an interesting story.
So 20 years ago, he was actually, the original owner was actually a corn farmer, and he wanted to find a new way to do something with his corn, just because selling it wasn't making enough money. So he started with the biodegradable packaging peanuts, and in the beginning, when they were working on the mixture, they would throw out old batches, and employees actually saw, the rain started sticking together, started making stuff and putting it on their desk, and they're like, hey, maybe we're onto something here. And then it still took them quite a while, because for each color, you have to kind of start from scratch to make the formula.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So even now, they couldn't make black until about 2 years ago.
Really?
So we're still coming in, and then as you can see from the line, they really put a lot of thought into what they really want to bring to the market, what has a lot of value for kids to play with, and also from an educational perspective. What you can do with it in the classroom, for example, the ABC comes with cards for alphabet. So you can really bring out more of an educational side to it. It's great for little kids especially, because in the classroom it's completely safe. You don't have to worry about a 4-year-old sticking in their mouth because it just dissolves. There's nothing to choke on. It's easy cleanup for teachers compared to if you do with paints or something. It's really not messy at all. So it's a great thing for the classroom as well.